Hey friends, this is the Mrs. Wolfie from Our Half Acre Homestead, and I made an oops. When I put these two-pound packages of hamburger in the freezer to firm up, I forgot them and they froze. So since I have 4 pounds of hamburger, I've decided I'm going to make some meatloaf for supper and meatballs for the freezer. So here we have 4 eggs, 1 for each pound, 3 packages of onion, 4 cups of breadcrumbs, and everything bagel seasoning. Now I'm not adding any ketchup to this because I'm almost out, and Howie likes ketchup on his meatloaf, not necessarily in it, okay? So if I have to add any more liquid, I'll just add another egg. How about that? Let's get started. Okay, now this hamburger says it's lean, but I don't necessarily trust that. It is tube meat after all. But you know what? I didn't like the consistency. I didn't like the consistency of the meat that we bought. That seemed to be packed in gas. I didn't like the consistency. It didn't taste like or have the texture of hamburger to me. Ooh. There we go. I may not use all 4 cups of these breadcrumbs. We will see. No, Gracie, that's not for you. Now let's just get Sam on stir here. And let's get our seasonings mixed right into the meat. I'm going to say, I don't know, 1/4 cup of, I don't know, everything bagel mix. I hope I didn't overpower it, but we like lots on the bagels, so. And 1 egg. 2 eggs. 3 eggs. 4 eggs. 1 onions, 2 onions, and if we need more liquid, I'll throw in a jar of zucchini. That needs some liquid of something. I could have strained some of the water off it, I guess, but we are going to be putting in breadcrumbs. Oh, I'm making a mess, aren't I? All right. I am making a heck of a mess here. Let's give this a good... We don't want to see the zucchini. Oh, that smells so good. So let's start working in some of these breadcrumbs. And if I have too many, I'll just put them back in the freezer. And we're just going to let that stir for a few minutes. That's pretty much perfect. I'm going to reuse this bread pan from the last time I made bread. If you don't want to lose any of this, meat is so costly today, and our cow still our side of beef still hasn't come. So, no, Gracie, this is definitely not for you. I'm going to make enough meatloaf so that Howie can have it in his lunches tomorrow. And sandwiches. So we're going to call this everything bagel meatloaf. And this is going to go in the fridge until supper time, and we're going to make sit down and make meatballs with those. Okay, so now we're going to make meatballs. We're going to cook them for the freezer. I'm also got some pastry in the fridge. So what I'm doing here is I've got an ice cream scoop. It's kind of big, but it'll, you know what? I'm going to do a full ice cream scoop, and then I'm just going to divide it in half because I can't find my cookie, my 1 tablespoon or whatever cookie. How you want big meatballs or little meatballs? Like this size or smaller?
Yeah, about that size.
About that size? Okay. Howie likes to see chunks of meat. These are going into a 350-degree oven until they're cooked, and then I'm going to let them cool down. I'm going to flash freeze them. Bring our potatoes over. Now, I have here a buttered casserole dish, which I didn't go all the way up the sides, which I should have. I have a nice buttered casserole dish here. And we're going to start with a layer of potatoes, onions. Oops, that hair out of there. Even though my hair's in a bun, you got to watch for them. Okay, more potatoes, celery. Oh, spread that all in there. And I think we're going to have mashed garlic carrots with this tonight. So these potatoes can go all on top, like this. I find mushroom soup just the best way to make this. And then we're just going to put all our mushrooms on top. Just like that. Shake them down. Shake them down. Now I've got a can of mushroom soup and a half a can of milk. Just like that. You want to get every bit covered. It will spread. You just boom. Now we're going to tin foil this and put it in the fridge to settle in. And it'll go in the oven just about 20 minutes before our meatloaf. I have had many people tell me not to put tin foil in the bottom of my oven. Here's what you need to know. When you're putting tin foil in the bottom of your oven, you put the shiny side up so that it reflects the heat. If you put it shiny side down, it will reflect the heat back into the bottom of the oven, and yes, it can wreck your oven, but I've never had that problem because I've always put it shiny side up. Fridge, and then we're going to get out, and we're going to tidy up here, and then I'm going to make my apple pie. There's our meatballs out of the oven, and we're going to, not wasting any energy, we're going to put our scalloped potatoes in the oven along with our apple pie. We're going to let these cool, and then I'm going to get Howie to put them in the freezer to flash freeze, and then I'm going to bag up probably 12 per vacuum seal bag, and I'll vacuum seal them for future Swedish meatballs and future spaghetti meatballs. All right, so here's supper. Scalloped potatoes, mushroom scalloped potatoes, meatloaf, and that is well big enough for supper and Howie's lunch tomorrow, and mashed garlic butter carrots. So let's make up a plate. Okay, first, now Howie already ate one of the meatballs, so I know he's going to like this meatloaf because it's the same thing. Look, you're very hungry there. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? And there will be enough of the scalloped potatoes left over to be stir-fried with some peppers for a side for supper tomorrow night or the next night.
Maybe.
Maybe. Oh no, Howie, I made extra. I made a bigger pan. So these beautiful garlic butter carrots. That. Isn't that beautiful? And a little bit of ketchup on top. And pepper, of course. See what he has to say about all of this. Did you take your pills?
Of course.
Okay.
Catch your nose back.
This is, obviously, garlic mashed carrots, Gracie Magoo, scallop potatoes, and meatloaf. And you're getting that meatloaf in your lunch tomorrow. And of course, there's pie and maple walnut ice cream for dessert.
I'll have to save a little room.
You better save a little room.
Everything's awesome.
Thank you, dear. She's going to start drooling if you don't give her a little bite of some. Give her a piece of potato or something not so hot. Oh. Oh. Oh, you go. There. Now, here are our meatballs. They came out of the oven, brought out of the oven, allowed to cool, and then I put the whole tray in the freezer for about a half an hour just to firm them up. And now, we're going to start dropping them 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, I think 12 meatballs is just perfect for us. Okay, so we got meatloaf supper, Howie's lunch tomorrow with meatloaf sandwiches, and here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's 9 meals out of 4 pounds of hamburger. Boom. That's making that quarter a nickel for sure. And that's what I did today. I made meatballs, I made meatloaf, I made supper, I made pie. So, I hope you enjoyed this, making that quarter squeak. Take care, God bless.